Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. That sound you hear is the sound of the police coming after Aaron for all his BS yesterday coming at me, and he's right in the chat. I love it, man. Josh never heard of it. I was just talking to him. Fantastic, man. Anyway, dude, not cool. Ruth H, how are you? Anyway, thank you for coming in. Hope everyone is well today. We are at the Breakfast Club latest news, and hashtag Save Max, Wrexham's unsung hero. Max speaks out on the Leader Live. We're going to talk about that, and that is, dude, not cool. I was driving. Yes, I love it. Oh, that is absolutely making me laugh. I'm so sorry, Ruth. I apologize for that. Anyways, got a packed show for you today of the shit shows of the week, because we're getting through to try to get back to football, which is amazing. But great show by Aaron and John yesterday as well. But we got some talking about a little bit of Max today, which is great. So happy to have you say. And yes, I've been a little bit critical of Max, which is fine. But also, I think I'll also be very supportive of him. And he also has some things to say about not taking things for granted, which you got to take. In this day and age, and anything when you're 22 years old, 23 years old, and you're coming up, this guy is given such an opportunity. He's given back to the club so much. So I'm really proud of him, and I'm happy to do this article. That's why hashtag Save Max is right there. But anyways, thank you for coming in. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the Local Pundit if you haven't already. We are like 87 subscribers away from 3,001. We can do it. We're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. Gotta believe. I believe. But yes, we're almost there. Become a member if you want to as well. And yes, and all save Max from Josh. Oh wow, Chris went in two-footed. So I'll just media assets over here. There's a lot of what's that? Love it. Yeah, booing. Explosion. That's probably more for Ken and his toilet. I don't know what these are, but I think that's my favorite right there. It has to be my favorite. But anyways, love poking around fun with some of the new stuff as we're learning in the StreamYard. But today, we're going to talk about Max. We're going to get into it. Have your say. It's been some journey for Wrexham defender Max Cleworth, and it has been. That's what we're going to talk about there too. And then we're going to talk a little bit about we're going to talk about what Windass said about League One and League Two, and talk about the championship. So interesting quotes from him. And again, it is a news show, so we're going to report the news today on Tuesday, October 14th. Get into the chat, have your say. Also, get into the chat afterwards and have your say once the show is over, because it's always worth the conversation, which is great. And we got to get back into it. But I'm going to tell you right now, people have scattered. It's been scatter city. There's been scarcity. We're drinking water. There's no water. It's been scatter city. So I'm just happy that we're about 5 days away. Ken would have the hours down. Ken would be like, we're 428 hours away, or we're 94 hours away from the next game, because he's really good at that. He's really good with that mind. But we're about 5 days away from getting back to facing Stoke City. And I talked about yesterday, when we come back into the league on against Stoke City, that we're going to hit the ground running. I think we're going to do that. And I like this article today for the 23-year-old talking about Max Cleworth. I want to talk about, because we always talk about save Max. Max ain't going anywhere. Max ain't going. My only thing with Max is that I'd like him to get some rest. That's it. He is on the job training. Back to back to back. The guy is working his ass off, and I'm really proud of him. Good quotes here. So Max Cleworth is a 3-time promotion winner, and he's become a regular for Wrexham, and the center half won't take his place for granted. And I think that's what he has to do. I think he's had some players next to him, O'Connell, Scar, that have been by his side in the center of the back three, that have been I would say giving him a good education. Yes, Parkinson and Parkin off the pitch obviously are supporting him, but when you have guys on the pitch that you can talk to, that can lead you, that can show you, that know you're talented, and give you the opportunity to be the best you can be, I think this is why Max has done so well. And yes, I am a little bit critical of Max in regards to I want him to take the ball down and not put the ball over the top. Maybe he's told to do that. I think he needs to be a little bit better with his feet. But this is a really cool article. Some of the quotes here are really profound from a young man at 23 years old, and I respect that. And he is our future. He's either our future captain, or in the Premier League, or he's going to go on and do good things as well. But if I was any young footballer right now, I would not be leaving Wrexham for anywhere else. I would not, even if we don't get promoted. You still have Max, says John Merrill. I thought Josh sold him at the Shrewsbury in the summer. I did. I tried to, John. I tried to, but articles are articles, and here we go. It's a news show today. John, if you're around, come on in and have your say about Max. Just text me, and I'll drop the link in the chat. Actually, you know what? I'll just fucking do it, because you know what? It's my fucking show. And I'll do that. Sorry, Mom. But okay, here's a couple quotes here from Max Cleworth. Says, "I'm loving every minute at Wrexham," he said, who won young player of the season 3 out of the last 4 seasons. Well, he's the only player that he's been playing. Parkinson has done really well, actually giving him tons of playing time, whether he does well or doesn't do well. Now, he's had 9 times out of 10, he has a better game than he has a worse game. Okay. So it's not really like he's not going to get dropped. That said, I would have dropped. I think Haim's come in for Cody. And I thought that was going to be the replacement, but he's done well. He says, "I'm loving every minute of it." He says, I'm trying to not take it for granted. Sorry, I'm like stumbling on my words here. Let me slow down. I try to not take it for granted. I'm playing for this club, and the journey we've been over the last 4 years has been amazing. There's been some tough moments to come, but it's been unbelievable, and long may it continue. And I agree with that too. I mean, that's the sentiment of a player that's been his whole career has been only positives. Now, to that point, this is the first season where we could have those setbacks. I'm not saying we are going to have it. We could have those setbacks. Yes, we didn't get promoted out of the National League the first time, so this could be another season where it's not all going to be sunshine and roses and daisies. But I'll say, Max has had a pretty lavish career of getting promotion and also being a steady state in the side. Parkinson and the rest of the squad have really invested time into him for him to grow and be the player that he is. That's not something to just turn your nose up to. Parkinson has really invested in him, and I'm taking a different stance on it tonight. It's not an opinion piece, but I'm just going to give you the news piece and what I see. I guess it is an opinion piece. Parkinson has really invested in him to give him that opportunity to be as good as he is. He stepped up so far right now in every league and done very well. And I'm going to tie this back into the article with Windass a little bit later on, so pay attention for that. But that said, the championship is a very, very, very difficult league. He is at a perfect age at 23 years old to be in this league. And if he was in a Premier League team, he might be loaned down to the championship, but he's grown into this. And it's really, you have to really respect what he's doing. And you have to also really respect Parkinson giving him the opportunity to be great and to also not be great, but continue to play him. He hasn't done that for everybody. So there's obviously, Parkinson talked about how Fletcher. Fletcher knew his body. Fletcher knew, like, hey, I can only play this, I can only do that. And I believe that he's not only doing that with the players that are of age, he's also doing that with his young player, Max Cleworth, in this scenario, to give him an opportunity to be successful and to battle through and continue to move forward, which is really good. John cannot come in because he's watching England beat a bunch of are they? Is that on? What's the score? I've been working all day, so I haven't been able to check anything out. And Aaron says, amazing how well he stepped up again, though. It is, Aaron, he has stepped up. He has stepped up. And he has stepped up. But I thought that Cody and Haim, if I'm being honest, would have been the back two on that side. Connor Cody, Hyam, and O'Doyle would have been the three. But to be fair, he's done very well. When's Max's contract up? I don't know. John, I agree with this too. He needs to become better on the ball if he has to make the step up from his current level. I do believe that is his one downfall. He is not good on the ball. He gets happy feet, and he does kick the ball long. He just put your laces through it. And that's what he likes to do. And that's what he's probably been told to do. Moving on. There's a couple more quotes here I'd like to get to. It's obvious a step up into the championship. Everyone attacks very good, and everyone who comes off the bench is also just as good, he says. From an individual aspect, it's tough. Teams set up different ways, so it took a little bit of getting used to, but I'm loving it. And it is the biggest step up for him. Well, that's the most obvious statement he could have said. Hey, listen, we're getting to a step up in the championship, and I need to be ready for it. Well, the challenges that he's faced so far, he has not shied away from. He scored, 8 or 9 goals last season. He's really good in the air. He is quick. He is not afraid of a tackle. He is good shoulder to shoulder. He doesn't really get beat that much. So, what he's done so far in this league, you got to respect it. I do think that he's bulked up a little bit. He's a little bit more bulking up. And with the ball at his feet, he could be better. But, as I see on hashtag Save Max, he's an unsung hero. Max is saving himself. He's not underperforming. He is a player that you'd expect. He was in the team of the season last season. 3 out of 4 of the last seasons, he was young player of the season. Max is actually saving himself because he's performing well. He's stepping up to the challenge. And Parkinson is giving him the opportunity to do so, which I think is great. He goes on to say, I worked pretty hard in the offseason, whether it was going up from the National League to League One or League Two or so on. It's something I pride myself on. That's really profound by a young man. I think I've developed physically over the years. Well, you would, because you were like 19 over the years. And I've become a bit, maybe not older and wiser, but sort of gained a bit more experience from the promotions and moving up levels and how you have to adapt. I don't think I've changed too much, but certainly I've tried to take the experiences over the last few seasons last few years into the seasons. And I think he has done. And you have to give him credit. And granted, I know during the watch alongs, and I get on him. I'm like, Max, what the fuck are you doing? Sorry, Mom. I apologize. But, you have to give this kid credit. He's 23. He could be my son, for God's sakes. You have to give him credit. You really do. And there is talent there. There's good talent there. And could he be a future captain? Possibly. I think he's been surrounded by some fantastic players around him that have guided him, put their arm around him. But at the end of the day, Max has to go out and perform himself. Max has to go out, what is he, number 4? With the number 4 jersey on his back, and he has to go do his job. And he knows that. And the confidence that Parkinson and the rest of the team has given him to go out and do so, I think is valuable. And I think his on-the-job training and what he's doing is pretty spectacular. And yes, I will criticize, and we all should. We can't just happy clap through it. I'm not going to do that. I don't mind if other people do it, but you have to give him credit. You have to give him credit. Okay. Hip Karma's trying to double boot me in here too. Where is she? Hold on. Hip Karma says, someone clip Josh giving Max credit. It's a news show. It really is a news. I don't dislike Max, Hip Karma, but I have to give him credit, obviously. So do clip it up. And I appreciate that. What's going on, Hip Karma? Hope you're well. TLP fam, what's going on? Leap and Sarah's in the house. Cody is the one who needs saved. Do we think he's at Macca's? Do we think he looks at Macca weirdly? I don't know what that means, Chris. I have no idea. I don't know what that means. Aaron says, save the. Yeah, okay. There you go. I think Patty once said that Max needs to improve his pace. I don't know if you can really improve your pace that much. No, Max needs to just play more, continue to play, get comfortable on the pitch in this level, and also not put his laces through it and be calmer on the ball. That's what he needs to do. And I think he's doing that. I really do. I think Max is becoming more comfortable on the ball. Instead of like heading the ball away, chest it down. You have time. Take it to your feet and put the ball on the ground and put the ball into your midfielders, or push the ball out wide on the right side to Kabore. Those are the things he needs to do. Yes, he is the defender, but that doesn't mean he's not skilled, because he is skilled. He obviously can strike the ball very well. He heads the ball. He anticipates the ball, the corners very well. He's a fantastic athlete. So that's the only thing in the game that I think that Max needs to learn. It's a little bit more patience. Like I said, a little bit more patience, because he's a strong defender. He's 6'2", 6'3", and he's very athletic. So he's got good skill. Lewis Brunt has also improved his game. I agree, and he has come into play. I know Lewis Brunt got a little bit of criticism in the last couple of games, and he got dropped by Cody. By O'Doyle, which it's going to happen, and I think the competition is there to be had. I will say this on that: Max's spot should not be a given. I do think Max needs pressure, and I do think Max needs someone challenging him for that spot. I don't think anyone in the team should have a given spot. They have to earn it, especially at this level. Windass, Doyle, AO, anybody, Kiefer Moore up front. I think the more they fight for their positions, the better we're going to be. That's how sport works. Good competition builds good teams, because you cannot just be like, great, unless you're Michael Jordan, there you go. That's the only one I would say, or Scottie Pippen. I think the only issue you have with Max is that you may progress too quickly for Max. If you are chasing top 6 next season, I think he is replaced personally. It could happen. I hope that we get promoted anyways. Chicky Brewer's in the house. What's going on? Chris says, my bad for the weird wording. And Maka gave them goals up that cost that Cody his job. Okay, now I get what you're saying. So you're saying that Maka was the liability that cost Cody his job. And I agree with that. That is a good shout, Chris. That is a good shout. I actually 100% agree with that. But Cody did not help himself either. And 4-0 England, Latvia World Cup. Yeah, that was Latvia is not going to show up for that match, unfortunately. So good shout right there. Really good shout on all that too. All right. Moving on. Apparently last night or today or whatever, there was a London Reds gala dinner. I don't know what this is, but this was last night. And I'll move on to the other article. There was a gallery. There's a London Reds gallery dinner. There's Tozer, and there is Ben Foster. There we go. Wrexham AFC Foundation are delighted to raise £11,664.89 at the London Reds Gala Dinner. The event marked an inaugural fan-led gala dinner in support of the foundation fan favorites Ben Foster and Ben Tozer. A couple of Bens. A couple of Bens right there, which is pretty cool. Additionally, the guests included Michael Williamson and Community Director and Chair of Trustees Humphrey Carr. The successful event brought fans, supporters, and partnerships and friends to the club together for the foundation, changing lives. That's really cool. Did what's his name do our sign off? I don't know, but that's really awesome. Cool for that. Almost £12,000. Really good for that. Really good. That was the there's a gallery there. There you go. Greg. Someone got a watch. Ben signed a ball and some shirts. There you go. Couple legends right there. Ben Tozer in conversation with Andy Gelpin. Well, and on that bombshell, there's Humphrey Carr. Okay. All right. Other article here in the Leader, which I wanted to take up a little bit. Wrexham Star midfielder highlights the difference in the championship. Josh Windass, who has had a fantastic season for us so far. A little bit stop-start with his injuries. Okay, a little bit stop-start with, but he's also been one of our best players on the pitch. He said it's still early days in the championship campaign, but Josh Windass believes less points are needed to secure a place in the championship playoffs than in the bottom 2 divisions in the Football League. Now, that is profound because, as John will say, and I did drop it in the chat for John, but he is watching an ass kicking, by the way. that the championship is different. So Josh Windass thinks differently. Josh Windass is saying we are poised to maybe have a little bit different story that we would in League One and League Two. He goes on to say, this is a quote from Josh Windass. I think this is the only division where you can lose a couple and then win a couple and still be right in the mix. Whereas League One and League Two, you can't really afford to slip up. Who's been the captain the last few weeks. He said, also, as you've seen in this division last season, the last playoff spot was 60 odd points, which is not a team which is winning so many games. That's true. What is it, 40 to keep you up right now? 38, 35? He says, so if you can win as many games as you can, you've always got a good chance. And that's why I believe that I think we're going to hit the ground running when we get back. And I still think the playoffs are in our picture. I really do. There's going to be twists and turns, left, right. We're going to drive blind. We're going to do one of these deals. We're going to drive backwards. I still think we're going to make the playoffs. Now, I find that interesting that he says that League One and League Two are a little bit more forgiving than the championship. Now, the championship is a slog, absolute slog, as we know. It's fun. It is the best. It's the Eiffel Tower of football leagues, in my opinion. You're getting it from both ways. Premier League, under, everything. There's money coming in. So it's interesting to me that he says League One, League Two, you really can't afford to slip up. Now, remember last season, there were teams that won 6, 7, 5 in a row, and then lose 5, 6, 7 in a row. Very inconsistent. That's what I saw last season in League One. I see more consistency in the championship so far, 9 games in. But I believe Birmingham City walked the league last season. We did not walk the league. If you look back at it, yeah, we were there and thereabouts. We worked for it. But I don't, listen, he knows better than I do. I don't know if I would say the championship is not as difficult as League One and League Two. But he's played in it, not me. Super chat coming in. Super chat from Steve Barton. Thank you, Steve Barton, for that $5 super chat. Absolute legend. We need 3 points for every match before the end of the year. 3 points. So we got to win every game? Or are you saying an average? I think we need to average about 2 points. Is that correct? And thank you for that super chat. The two bands have been everywhere. I liked their first couple of YouTube videos. Yeah, they're great. They're absolutely great. But 3 points? I think Patty says 3. You saying we need 3. Okay. And Andrew C says, I'm always fascinated in projecting potential. I don't know. I don't think it's always accurate. I know there are evaluators, who know more than me, still think it's variable. And then what is that in regard to, Andrew? Let me know. I'm going to go back to the article, what Windass was saying here. Ben Sheaf. These games come thick and fast in this league. I mean, that is the most obvious thing. This is Ben Sheaf saying that, by the way. I think anyone can beat anyone on their day in the division. Ben Sheaf said that again. It's probably a bit different to what League One and League Two is. It's a tough division, but on our day, we can go up against anyone toe to toe. It's about putting it together on match day, and that is the most honest thing I believe. I think that this side that has been built, 33 million pounds under Parkinson, I think we can go toe-to-toe with anybody, and I think we proved that. It has not been an easy start to the season in regards to who we've been going up against. I believe this team, this squad, our momentum is going to get us to where we need to be. I am not shying away from, I think we are going to get promoted. I think we will be in the playoffs, and I think we could get promoted. I think we're going to grow into the season. We talked about calluses last year. Last year was the callus season. You know, we're building our calluses. Now, the points aren't on there that we had last season at this point. We're sitting 18th. Doesn't look great in the table, but we win 2-3 matches in a row. Boom, we're right back up in it. And it's a long way to go. So we have new calluses that we need to build. We're building our own new story this season. So, yes, I am very critical during the matches, after watch-alongs. I'm also very supportive, but I'm also very realistic because I believe that we've built a squad that is competitive and that we can go and we can do good things in this division. And I'm expecting that to happen when we come back on Saturday against Stoke City. That is it. I do believe that. I do believe that. And I can be blind in. I don't care. Oh, the championship. I don't give a shit what everyone says. I don't care. I would love to be right. If I'm wrong, I will admit it. I know it's very difficult. I know it's difficult in this league, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't think that we have a talented enough squad to go out and perform. And I'm so behind them, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do. So good quotes by Shave and Windass there, and they believe in their heart of hearts that they can go out and they can go compete. So I'm expecting to see that, tying it in from yesterday's show, that we can do that. So let's get players back that are injured. Let's get players back that are coming back from international duty, that hopefully fit and firing, ready to go. So we'll see how that goes down. When someone says 90 potential, how do you know? I don't know. Okay. How do you know? Well, you put it out there. I think last season you had a top three. You had a top three who were so far and ahead that it meant the playoffs were less. Plus, the relegation fight was so pitiful. Points total. I don't agree with Windass. It will be the same. Interesting shout right there. Iron Man's just doing some emojis, which is awesome. Thank you, Iron Man. And points are in the mail. We're coming for the playoffs. Oh yeah, I like that. But that's a good shout. The points are in the mail. We're coming for the playoffs. I love it. Chris is laughing, and Bree from SoCal's in the house. She's saying hi. Hi, Bree from SoCal. Hope you're okay. It is raining in California right now, which is beautiful. I love it. I love hearing the rainfall. And top tree, two tree. Patty's gonna block you, Steve. All right, let's get everyone out of here. Tomorrow will be Pundit's Punt, the pick show. Ken's gonna be doing that, and then Tactical Fortitude is on Thursday, and then Game Day Build Up on Thursday. Sorry, Friday. Friday we'll do a preview show, and then Game Day Build Up for the match on Saturday. Excited to get back there. We're almost there. We are literally there's mud getting slang at us. It's all over. We're army crawling through this week. I said yesterday we're just there's not much happening out there right now. There's not much, but it is what it is. Hopefully everyone's getting rested on every way, shape, or form. So I'm happy to have everyone come in. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Andrew, and you're very welcome, Leap and Sarah. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and please share it out. Let's just get to 3,001 so we can just end me saying it, and then we'll go to 5,000 after that. So awesome stuff. Good to hear everybody. Let me know what you think about Max. What Max's future will hold. Is this a guy that could be a future captain? Would you ever consider, replacing him? Do we think that we would sell him? What do you think about Max's season so far? Make sure you get into there afterwards, and if you haven't seen this live, and get your thoughts on it. But I think Max has done very well. You got to give him a lot of credit. Long may it continue, because we want to get promoted, in my opinion. I think that's a save Max moment right there. All right. And on that bombshell, we'll see y'all soon.